And now, it's March 17th, 2025. Time to look into what was in your inbox last night with Michelle from Payometry Labs.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Fintech fam. It's March 17th, and while most of you are chasing pots of gold, or let's face it, chasing green beers, I've been here chasing Fintech news, so you don't have to. No leprechauns spotted, but we've certainly found some hidden treasures. Let's dive in. Mr. X is off kissing the Blarney Stone or something, so he's not with us today. Today, we're talking about digital payment dominance in Asia, the latest in the Evolve saga, a few announcements and more. Let's get started with today's top stories. Just about every financial newspaper, broadcast, or email you look at today will tell you Klarna has filed for their IPO, expecting a $1.5 billion valuation. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, announced a new rule establishing federal oversight of large digital payment applications. This regulation specifically targets non-bank entities processing over 50 million transactions annually, bringing them under CFPB supervision, similar to traditional financial institutions. The aim of this rule is to protect consumer personal data, reduce instances of fraud, and prevent unwarranted account closures. Crowdfund Insider announced a firm's Capital Strategy 2.0, which is presented as an evolution in how the buy now pay later fintech company secures funding for growth. The strategy aims to better connect Wall Street investors, everyday consumers from Main Street, and the broader financial ecosystem. By focusing on stable funding, operational efficiency, and strong financial performance, a firm intends to sustain its rapid expansion while maintaining its core principles of alignment and responsible lending practices. Let's look into our big story for today, the continuing saga swirling around Evolve. Fintech Business Weekly says Evolve needs to engage in proactive measures to rebuild credibility through transparency and compliance with financial regulations. Evolve has recently reached a tentative $11 million settlement in a class action lawsuit related to a data breach and is fighting to explain discrepancies between reported balances and actual transactions. These issues raise alarming questions about Evolve's financial practices, and the ongoing legal and financial issues highlight a significant lack of transparency from Evolve regarding funds returned to users. Let's check on some market insights. From the world of stablecoins and embedded lending to warnings from a London-based services provider, there's a lot to cover. The Substack, Stanley's Musings, argues that stablecoins enhance the utility of fiat currency by providing speed, adaptability, and blockchain compatibility that conventional currencies cannot offer. The author highlights that stablecoins, unlike volatile cryptocurrencies, maintain a consistent value by being typically linked to assets like the US dollar. Stanley goes on to emphasize the advantages of stablecoins, like integration with blockchain for smart contracts and DeFi, capacity for fast and inexpensive global transactions, compatibility within the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and increased accessibility and user control compared to traditional banking. A report issued by Thread, a London-based payments technology provider, highlights 3 significant challenges facing the payments industry in 2025: inefficient back-office operations, increasing sophistication of fraud, and growing regulatory complexity. Ultimately, the report serves as a warning and a guide for financial institutions and fintechs, emphasizing the need to address these core issues proactively to ensure continued growth and profitability in a more calculated phase of development. Popular Fintech explores the potential of embedded lending, which integrates loan offerings within existing software platforms, contrasting it with the already successful model of embedded payments seen in companies like Shopify. The author highlights a significant untapped market estimated at $48 billion, suggesting it could be even larger than embedded payments. The piece questions whether individual lending programs have the capacity to fully capitalize on this opportunity, or if specialized, embedded lending providers that serve multiple platforms are better positioned to capture this emerging financial landscape. Fintech Futures references a report by researchandmarkets.com analyzing the mobile payments industry's significant growth potential and projecting it to reach $10.4 trillion by 2033. The article highlights the driving forces behind this expansion, including increasing smartphone usage, supportive government policies, and advancements in payment technologies. But the best part is the examination of the key players, emerging trends, and regional dynamics shaping the mobile payment landscape, segmented by transaction mode and application. Crowdfund Insider has a piece that centers on the challenges facing Canada's fintech ecosystem due to a lack of progressive regulations. It highlights concerns from industry professionals about how political inertia and an uncompetitive financial sector, dominated by major banks, hinder the growth and potential of Canadian fintech startups. The piece argues that issues like regulatory fragmentation, delayed implementation of open banking, and difficulties in securing venture capital are putting Canadian fintechs at a disadvantage compared to their global counterparts, potentially wasting a significant economic opportunity. This Week in Fintech pointed us to an article by CNBC that discusses a surprising shift in the relationship between American financial companies and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. Despite years of battling the agency, traditional banks now find themselves as unlikely allies of the CFPB, because the potential dismantling of the CFPB by the Trump administration would lead to a regulatory imbalance. The decimation of the CFPB could allow non-bank financial entities like fintech firms to operate with significantly less federal oversight than traditional banks. So, banks fear increased competition and a return to a pre-2008 environment with potentially inadequate consumer protection at the federal level. Cashless highlights the rapid growth of digital payments in Southeast Asia, which is significantly driving an e-commerce boom expected to more than double within 5 years. Fueled by the convenience of digital wallets and account-to-account transfers, this shift is moving the region away from traditional cash-based methods. The burgeoning potential of intra-regional cross-border commerce in the region is supported by initiatives improving payment connectivity and offering merchants higher returns compared to domestic transactions. Fintech Wrap-Up examines PayPal's strategic reinvention, dubbed PayPal 2.0 for the future of digital commerce. It outlines how the established fintech giant, facing increasing competition, is transitioning from a primarily payment processing company into a comprehensive commerce platform. PayPal plans to solidify its position through the integration of AI, a push into omni-channel payments, and evolved strategies for consumer and merchant growth, plus a technological overhaul of its infrastructure. Max Luck, head of growth at Flare Network, featured on The Defiant. The discussion centers on Flare Network as a Layer 1 EVM-compatible blockchain specifically designed for data-intensive use cases. Flare's network enables novel decentralized finance applications for non-smart contract chain tokens like XRP, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin. The interview also touches upon Flare's focus on interoperability and its ambition to become a DeFi hub for these assets, highlighting Flare's broader vision within the blockchain ecosystem. Payments Dive has an article that primarily discusses the findings of WorldPay's 10th Global Payments Report, which we reported on last week. Central to the Payments Dive piece is the predicted massive growth of digital payments worldwide in the coming years, significantly outpacing traditional methods like credit and debit cards. It highlights the increasing adoption of digital wallets, especially in regions like Asia-Pacific, while noting a slower but growing uptake in the U.S. The article also touches upon the decline of cash usage and, most importantly, the continued importance of cards as a funding source for digital wallets, offering a snapshot of current trends and future projections in the payment landscape. Okay, ready for some quick hits? Good. Let's go. This Week in Fintech examines the metrics for mid-market fintech's investment opportunities. ResearchandMarkets.com issued a press release announcing the addition of a new market research report focused on the global mobile payments industry. The report, titled Mobile Payment Market by Mode of Transaction, Application, and Region 2025-2033, forecasts significant expansion, projecting the market to reach $10.47 trillion by 2033. A press release from Block announced that its industrial bank, Square Financial Services, Inc. SFS, has received FDIC approval to offer Cash App Borrow nationwide. This expansion allows SFS to provide short-term, small consumer loans directly to Cash App users, aiming to offer a more accessible and affordable alternative to traditional options like payday loans and overdraft fees. And that wraps up your daily pot of fintech gold. Don't be like my neighbor's cousin Seamus, who thought crypto mining meant digging Bitcoin out of his backyard. Stay informed instead by joining our Becoming a Member of Our Community and joining our private LinkedIn group. It's the perfect spot for networking, insider gossip, and, let's face it, jokes better than mine. Catch you there, folks. And if anyone finds a 4-leaf clover, send it my way. See you tomorrow.